Hi friends, my name is Nikki. We call this the Source Clarity Community, and I am so grateful that you are here and watching this video. For, as long as I can remember, I have been interested and fascinated with the world of attraction, right? Like attracting your dreams and goals, getting the things that your soul is pulled to attract, or manifestation. And I have this pretty cool manifestation story that I want to share with all of you, and it really goes back to gratitude. A lot of us forget that one of the most advanced spiritual practices in the world is gratitude. Like, that sounds a little bit cliche. You might be watching this, you're like, dude, that kind of sounds cliche. No, I legitimately mean it is gratitude. So years ago, I went on a road trip. I traveled all throughout the US, like in my Jeep. Literally, in my Jeep, traveled all throughout the US. I went to freaking Oregon, that's it. All through California, Idaho, Montana. I went to Texas. And it was pretty incredible. But the way that I got there was pretty awesome. And so this is around during the time of like when COVID hit. And what had happened is I was living in Los Angeles for about 4 or 5 years, and COVID hit, and the lease in my apartment was up. Okay, I got this. I got this story. Okay, the lease in my apartment was up. And I went back to stay with my parents. Now I was planning on being there for a couple of weeks. It turned out to be a little bit longer because things just kept closing in the world. But I remember not necessarily wanting to go back to Los Angeles. I did a little bit of traveling. I went to Hawaii, went to Oahu, and things of that nature. But I got into this meditation, and I asked the question intuitively, where is my authentic self, my higher self pulled to go next? And I heard the word travel. But I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get on planes with COVID, things of that nature. I was like, no, thank you. And then I looked in a little bit deeper. And my intuition was pulling me to embark on an adventure involving like doing the van life thing. I'm sure some of you have seen that on social media. And I began to ask more and more questions, and I heard buy a Jeep. So the current car I had, I sold. And I had this idea of a Jeep I was gonna get. It was gonna have leather seats, it was gonna be black. The AC was gonna work, which was a big deal for me because my previous car, it would like work and then not work, and then it just like stopped working and it was a big pain in the butt. And like, I wanted to see if I'm gonna go travel out in the country, out in the hot summer heat and things of that nature. So I had these things, right? And each night before I went to bed, I would legitimately imagine my Jeep and feel, here's grateful, ready? Grateful for already having that car before I even had it. And I would every night, and then I would go like look, like online shop for that car. And I remember I found a car that almost met my criteria. It didn't really have like fully leather seats, but it met a lot of my criteria. Part of my criteria, it had to have like under 150,000 miles on the car and all that, right? And so I see that there's a car in Los Angeles, and I'm like, I'm gonna go literally tomorrow. I was in Northern California at this time. And so I literally drive the next day all the way to Los Angeles for them to tell me that the car that I was pulled to get and excited to get was sold. I went literally the next day. Good news, my cousin and my brother live in San Diego, so I went and visited them, and I actually had one of the best trips of my life. Now this is an important part of the story, okay? A lot of the times when we're attracting our dreams and our goals, and we get close, then all of a sudden it feels like it doesn't work out. It feels like, oh my gosh, I almost got it, I'm screwed. I remember legitimately thinking like, no, I'm not gonna find a car that was as close to meeting all my requirements as this one. But then I remembered the laws of the universe. We attract what we're a vibrational match for. And this was a catalyst for me to increase my vibration, increase my levels of gratitude, and get that car that I wanted. So anyways, my disappointment fades. I go back to gratitude, and I go back to taking aligned action for that car. I go to this other, this car, like they had this like used car lot that was like an hour from where I lived. There's a car there, right? It's the Jeep. It has all my credentials. The one thing this car doesn't have, okay, is AC. So I take it to different mechanics, and all the different mechanics are telling me like it's gonna be way too much money to fix this AC to the point like you could buy, like it's not worth it. I'm bummed, but I remember like the last time I was bummed not to succumb to that being bummed. And this is, I'm gonna quicken up the story here. A couple weeks go by, and intuitively I felt pulled to that was my car. I'm like, no, that's my car. I call the place. They go, yeah, we still have the car. And by the way, we fixed the AC. Long story short, I got my dream car, traveled the US in that Jeep, and it was like the most reliable car that I've literally ever had in my life. It was perfect for the road trip, and all my dreams came true. And the moral of this story is that gratitude was the thing that allowed me to attract that Jeep, but it wasn't just gratitude. There were moments that I felt so close yet so far away, so close yet so far away. And so for you in your life, I want you to think about ways that you've been close to getting the things that you're asking for, whether that might be career, whether that might be money, whether that might be a romantic relationship, where, you know, some people don't like to say that like life will test you or universe is testing you, but it helps me realize that sometimes the universe is gonna test you. It's gonna test your levels of gratitude and knowing that it's gonna work out, because manifestation requires you to literally know, to embody the knowing. Like I had to legitimately feel every single night before I went to sleep that car was out front. I'd see it, I'd smell it, I'd feel it. I'd be driving the current car I have and I'd feel grateful for my Jeep that I had, even though technically I wasn't driving the Jeep, but I had to like get delusional. But I also had to take aligned action. I couldn't just sit in my room and meditate and manifest. I had to take aligned action, and I had to allow life to inevitably teach me the lessons that it was going to teach me. Because each time it didn't work out, I had to trust myself deeper and know that a better car was meant for me. So a lot of the times we get disappointed in life and the mind really just succumbs. Like, it's like, no, I was so close. This is the thing I was meant to get. And we don't even realize there's something better around the corner because we have to dig a little bit deeper. So I want you to think about your own life. This is something as simple as a car, but think about the things that are a little bit more intense in your life. The things that are a little bit more important in life than just a car. This still goes with that, okay? So you're awesome. I want to thank you. So I was on a plane today. I just came from California. Now I'm in Texas, and literally I like almost forgot to record a video, but we've had this thing where I'm on day 15, I think, or 14 of posting a video on YouTube every single day until we reach 1,000 subscribers. And I was like, I am not gonna not post today. And I'm like, I'm gonna freaking do this. And here we are, you and I. Okay, alrighty friends. Thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment the shit out of this, because we are getting to 1,000 subscribers. We're posting every day till then, and you're so wonderful. Cool? Alrighty, friends. Stay awesome and authentic. Alrighty, peace.